Good day and welcome to Old Talk United and our virtual bar.
That means there's a glass of Coke you're drinking there.
A nice glass of rum and coke.
Oh, that rum in it. All right, let's check it.
Of course.
You can't forget your rum, brother. You can't forget your rum.
You
Only
forget,
here-
you forget
only
what
here
country I'm from. You forget what country I'm from.
Will they hear what old people say?
Yeah,
Don't run down bus
Frankie, run him down.
and don't run down woman.
Frankie, run him down.
And don't run no Ronaldo either.
Stop being a punk, man. Stop being a punk.
Somebody-
man. You're being a punk.
somebody-
So stop being you. So stop being you, Robert. Stop being you.
Stop being a punk, man.
So stop being you, Robert.
Somebody had to tell
Man.
Cristiano, don't run down teams to get rejected.
That's right.
When you run down, boss, you don't look back. You look
Yes,
back.
always.
It's
Move
some
it.
Caribbean
Move-
wisdom.
He move it like the fat chick in the group, dog. Going behind everybody and game blank right through.
Yeah. No, because he is a big C dash T. That is why. I can't
So-
Rhymes with stunt.
I was
But-
just watching
but-
some,
don't
and I
disrespect
believe it's not me alone. I think most of us was just watching some really good football. You know, I remember seeing a joke, a parody. It's from the 80s, but I only saw it like a month ago. So this guy takes another friend of his to a female football game. And they both of them sitting down in the stands. And the one who's his first time, he's like, why am I here? Why are you bringing me to this game? He said, don't worry now, man. Hold on, wait. He said, but this game is lame, man. Da, 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 da. He said, wait. So the game now about to finish, right? And he really frustrated now. So the one who there for the first time, he hits in his friend who does go all the time. He say, did you bring me to this game? And he asked him, he say, at the end of a football game, what has happened?
I know where this is going.
What players does do with the t-shirts?
I knew that it was going there though. My
While
God.
we are pondering the answer to that question, the whistle blows, and the players proceed to exchange jerseys. And of course, he started whistle and real clap. All of us, all the stands jump up. You saw a goal score. Because it's only men in the stands.
Obviously.
And today we got that experience when what's the girl's name who scored the winning goal for England?
Chloe Kelly,
Yeah, Chloe Kelly.
A
Yeah.
Manchester United player.
City.
City.
A Manchester City. Well, we have Manchester United.
So
women
Ella
players on the
Toon
team.
is United
And a
player.
two
She
is the
scored
one
the
who scored
first
the
goal.
goal from United.
Right. The one who scored the first goal is a
Yeah,
Manchester
the opener, yeah.
United
Yes.
player.
Number 23.
So, England won today, beating Germany 2-1 in extra time. And all I have to say is well done, ladies. So the first toast is for the ladies for the English national team, showing the men how to win a trophy.
And
Because-
against the Germans at that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the Germans have never lost a final.
Well,
Never
you know
lost a
what-
final
you-
in female in that
You know what they
competition.
say, right? First time for everything.
Yeah.
So, congrats to the England Lionesses for bringing home silverware for the country. I want to send a special shout out to my boy Trevor Rodriguez because he is celebrating like a madman right now.
Yes, I definitely have one of my friends over there in England. Shout out to Leanne Scarat. She actually coached Ella Toon when she was young. And so
Oh, wow.
she's absolutely going crazy right now, celebrating. And
Look at that.
in the future, I will have her on one of our shows as well too. So looking forward to that.
All right.
Nice.
Good look. Good
I
look.
want to
Good look.
shout out myself for watching the game because I get to see the jerseys come off when the goal score.
Yeah, you gotta take it when you could get it, you know what I mean?
Every day we stray closer away from God.
Good afternoon to Martin, Philip, and Cass, and to everybody else watching. So you also had another football game today, which was Manchester United versus the third team from Madrid, because there's AC Milan, there
What?
is
You said Madrid. You call it Milan teams. You said AC Milan.
Yeah, there's Real Madrid.
There's Atletico Madrid.
Atletico Madrid. And then there's the team we played this morning.
Rayo Vallecano.
Thank you very much. And the reason why nobody knows about them is because they've never won anything in Spain. They are a first division team. They are a La Liga team. They have been in La Liga for a long time, but they have never won anything.
And mind you, we have ties with them because 2 ex-United players have played for them when Falcao, who also played today, and also get this, Bebe. Who remembers him?
Bebe legend.
He is a legend. He's a legend for being one of the worst Manchester United players ever.
And mind you, still has more Premier League medals than Steven Gerrard.
Good afternoon to Dark Sage. I'm glad that you're back today. Gentlemen, what did Black Sage ask yesterday that we said we
So yesterday, Greg, you want this one?
Yeah. He was asking how we thought the Qatar national team would perform in the upcoming World Cup. Now,
he also has suspicions that there could be some FIFA mathematics and FIFA cash
at it again.
In a nice way of saying it.
FIFA skullduggery.
Again to go in and Qatar may make a run magically in the World Cup. And what are our thoughts on that?
Long story short,
who in the group with
the most fun, feed the most foul. New topic.
Anybody had the list, the World Cup around them? Anybody could tell me who in the group with Qatar?
I can't pull that up available right now. But if that happens, I mean, FIFA going to the dogs. That's all I can say.
Boy, FIFA in the doghouse long time, you say not like you ain't sure.
Yeah, well, like they do upgrades and do
Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and Netherlands.
I'm sorry, they are out in the first round. I can't pick any FIFA. Senegal is going to want to come out of that group.
It's going to be the Dutch Senegal out of that group, I think. But the Dutch will make it through no matter what.
Yeah,
however,
Dutch.
It could. Well, we are saying Senegal, but watch what happens now.
We go in with what history predicts, but we don't know how they look on the day. I think I see them playing. I think I see them playing in an invitational the other day. It was a big tournament, but they was invited to it. And they are players that are not from the country, They are good players,
But that's normal. You ever watch them? You ever watch the people who run for them for the World Cup and things?
Yeah, there are some good players, so they might upset. We don't know.
I mean, hell. Senegal, I mean, when you look at it, the United States don't have natural Americans playing for them too. Some of the fellas was like Nigerian immigrants and other players playing for the country. So
have you not seen the Jamaican reggae boys?
Yeah. The continent of Africa actually won the World Cup, So
and also have you not seen the national team?
The difference between America and most of these other countries is that America don't import people to play sports. There are a lot of immigrants that go to America. We all know that. We people from the Caribbean, we know that.
Yes,
so you find that when you look at cricket, for example, when you see an American cricket team, half of them is Asians and the next half is Caribbean people.
Yeah, right? West Indies rejects.
It's either West Indian or Indian.
And that's it. And it's not that they just go and look for people. Let's say you can play cricket, come to America. No. America don't need to do that. It's just half people there who just play sports. Yep. Some of these other countries, however, in Arabia and I remember even Japan at one point had a naturalized Brazilian playing on the Japanese national team. Some of these other countries, I ain't too sure about that.
I see a man named Gonzalez playing on the Indian national team.
I ain't too sure that the person left and went there and just happened to be good at football, right?
So
I ain't sure that
my name is Gonzalez and the man playing for India. Like what?
But to answer the question, Dark Sage, at least from my perspective, I can't see them getting out of the group. I can't see them.
So we're
going side note: the fellow who played for Japan was Brazilian. His name was Alex.
So for me, with this whole World Cup, I absolutely am appalled that it even got to Qatar in the first place. it screams corruption. It screams side payments to me to begin with.
Blatter.
Yes, you can thank Blatter and your fellow Trini over there for that. Anyways, so with that being said, and then you added the human rights abuse from that too, where they're flying in these migrants and they're paying them absolute like shit wages, and you're taking their passports so they can't leave. You put them in the worst conditions. Like the rate that some of them were dying every day, those workers was crazy to me. And yet FIFA still allowed this World Cup to go on. And then on top of that, you even allowed it so much as to switch it from the summertime to the wintertime in the middle of the season. So I have a whole bunch of issues with this World Cup to begin with. With that being said, will I still watch it? Yes, because it's a World Cup and it comes around once every 4 years. Do I still believe that there is corruption going around there? Yes. Do I think
when has there not been corruption, Devin?
Do I think there's enough corruption there for it to cause Qatar to somehow make a magical run? No.
I think this World Cup is going to be one of the most open World Cups in a while. Normally, I have 1 or 2, maybe 3 favorites. I think anybody could win this World Cup. This might be the first time an African nation might win a World Cup. I just think this particular World Cup is very open because a lot of the big guns seem beatable to me. Germany, Brazil. They just seem beatable.
I would love what you're saying to happen, but I don't think the world ready for that. I wanted since I was a little boy. I wanted it, but I don't think the world ready for that.
You don't think the world ready for an African team to win the World Cup?
The closest we ever came to that was Cameroon, I think, in 1990. But since then,
the powers that be the one that. You really think they were African country winning it? You don't think it had an African country that was worthy of winning it? Of course. They made sure they didn't.
Luis Suarez made sure they didn't.
Yeah, that was Ghana.
FIFA had anything to do with that because them first threw the penalties.
But if Asamoah Gyan had put away that penalty after Luis Suarez gets sent off, then Ghana would have been at semis.
Suarez is not supposed to be playing football again. The amount of transgressions he has to his name, he shouldn't be playing football.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the game.
Moving on.
Let's talk about the game that we played this morning.
Thank you.
Manchester United scored first with a shot from Telles that deflect. Poor goalkeeping, I guess. Amongst of the goalkeeper. And the person that came on substituted for Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the shortest players on the team. Amad Diallo ran on to the spilled ball and put it in the back of the net. Before we talk about that, talk to me, guys. What are your thoughts on seeing CR7 the first time for the season today?
If you come out and you say, first of all, that the king is back, I don't care if it's preseason or not. You better be coming out and scoring goals to put the team on your back. Furthermore, that just proved to me that he is not. That you do not get to call yourself king of Old Trafford. There's only 2 men that get to call themselves king, and that's this man right here and this one right here. Those are the only 2 that could do it. So, as great as you've done that, you are not there yet, especially after the saga and all this that has gone on. No, absolutely not. You need to come out. You need to come out firing. I would have given you benefit of the doubt if it was like first game back, you're trying to get your feet under you again. But you come out and you make a bold declaration like that, you better be coming out all systems firing. And obviously that did not happen today. So, and on top of that, now Martial had a great preseason and was scoring goals and putting in chances. And I would argue he had one of the best chances in the game to score, and he missed his as well too. So now there's a claim that he can't even start in the next game versus Brighton.
Yeah, that's crap.
But what you quiet here, boy? You drinking punch, you know?
Martial? He didn't play today?
No. He said Ronaldo had one of the best opportunities to score and missed it.
Oh, yeah. The sky ball. Yeah. I caught the ball, you know. Don't worry. I caught it. I caught his own. But
yet you seem to have nothing to say, unlike Thursday.
Greg, First of all,
no, don't Greg me. 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 I want smoke today. I have a bone to pick with you, Mr. Wallace. I have a bone to pick with you.
I don't care. Calm down.
Right? You should.
Calm down.
You should.
Calm down.
You should.
Calm down. I find
you should.
You just be everywhere, you know. But the reason why I'm quiet.
What were your thoughts seeing Cristiano today?
One, I agree, right? The man should have never come out and say I am king, right? That is bullshit, right? But this is the talk, right? So I can swear, right? Cool. That was bullshit, right? One.
Maybe virtual buy could do those things.
Right. So again, right, good. That was shit. Now for men who saying, I saw the thumbnail, Ronaldo underwhelms. One, it was the man's first game back. First game since how long ago?
Okay.
No. Again, calm down.
I'm calm, sir.
Calm down.
I'm very calm.
Down. First game back. Calm down. First game back. The man. Now, to be fair, that one chance, yes, he missed. Cool. But it's man's first game back. What messed him up, as I'll always go back to see again, is the man's behavior. The man's behavior off the field is what is the reason why people, right, have problems with the man. However, I didn't see the fans booing the guy. I didn't see the fans cussing the guy. Only men who seem to have a problem with the man, calm down, is Chad and Greg and them fellas in them in the group. The whole of Old Trafford, right? Calm down.
I look at Ronaldo jersey in the back of me. We talk about I have a problem with Ronaldo.
The thumbnail says underwear because the thumbnail, because all of y'all, we have
the thumbnail's telling the truth.
We have already deduced that men in here have agendas. As I said before, right? There's some things that does trigger men in here. Ronaldo, Bruno, Donny, and Big Phil. Right? No.
Nobody here talking about Big Phil. Where he come in this conversation?
So calm down. Right? It was the man's first game back. Right? The man's first game back. First game back. Now, again, I will never defend the man's off the field antics. I would never defend it. Never. Because it wasn't right. The man had
all
no
I
right
ask
to
you
move.
about is the game today, no? Right? All I want to hear. What you thought about the game today?
Well, obviously, it was the man's first game back.
Somebody's triggered.
I'm saying it's the man's first game back. No, I'm just trying.
Somebody's triggered.
Greg, let Robert finish because I want to comment back on afterwards.
Right. I'm just saying I am not trying, right, to defend the man's actions. Right, I'm just saying the crowd at Old Trafford, I didn't boo him. Like I thought that they would. They didn't boo him. They didn't. Why is that? Why didn't boo him?
So I actually think it was. I remember we asked a prediction about this off air, and I still think that the boos were drowned out by the cheers. There was a majority cheering, but I do think there were some fans that were still pissed off with him. However, I hear exactly what you're saying. It's his first game back, but it's like I said before. It's your first game back. That if it's your first game back, you know you're rusty. Don't come out and proclaim the king is back, and then put in a performance like that. Because when you do that, you deserve to get all the criticism that comes your way now.
I laughed at him. I did. When he missed, I laughed. I laughed at the man. I laughed at the man because you came out in this big way talking about the king is back. Don't do that. It's like men put his brag on the business. So
if he did not do that, I would be on the same page with you saying it's his first game back, give him time. But when you come out like that,
right,
like that, you deserve every single bit of criticism that's coming your way.
I am not saying no.
I have a question to ask though. So you say that he underwhelmed, however, he called himself the king, he should not have done that. Okay. So are we saying that because he called himself the king, he's supposed to always look good? I want to know which player has looked good every single time they touch a pitch. I don't know.
So how many other players do you know that actually declared themselves king rather than given the title by Old Trafford?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue Ibrahimovic because he called himself the god. But besides that,
At least he performed on his debut.
I don't recall Dennis Law self-proclaiming himself king. If I remember, he was given that title by the Stretford end. And then Eric Cantona came along and was given that title, and he ran with it as well too. Right. Ronaldo itself proclaimed himself that, so there's a difference there.
That was
the body of work that he has under his belt. Don't he deserve the right to do that?
Yeah, is he king of Madrid?
I was
king of Manchester.
All right, cool.
And his recent actions underwhelms any kind of declarations he can make while he's here. So
moving on.
But
don't move on. Sure.
I'm amazed at United fan base, you know. I'm really amazed at United fan base. That's what I will say.
Why?
I want to talk about what were your thoughts on Ronaldo's performance in the game, Darren?
No, unfortunately, I wasn't able to see the first half, so I didn't get to see him play. But from all reports, he didn't look well. And I mean, as Robert said, it's the first game back. No, the antics that caused him to not have much minutes under his belt, it's his fault because he was up and about with his agent and however. But first game back. And to try and attach him, call him saying the king is back and looking poor, I think it's a stretch. That is a stretch. That's just my view on it.
I hear you. Greg, what are your thoughts on Ronaldo today?
He almost looked like a passenger on that field today, barring that one chance. As much as people want to say it's his first game back, I have to go with Devin on this one. You don't come out on social media and become as braggadocious as you are. Yes, you have a reputation. Yes, you're considered one of the greatest goal scorers of all time, if not the greatest goal scorer of all time. But you still have a standard to uphold. So for him to go through all that, him saying that nullifies any excuse that you could possibly make for him because he has to perform after making such a statement in the first place. So for me, there was nothing there to really write home about. If you choose to write home about it at all.
You know, there are plenty times I watching United play would have wished that I was a fly on the wall. And to be honest with you, most of those times was under Sir Alex when we done at halftime. You know, you would just love to be in that dressing room.
Cos was passing. Left, right, and center.
The rumors, you know, of how Sir Alex could be. When the second half started, and I saw a man coming out for Ronaldo, it's the first time in a long time I really, 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 really wish I was in that dressing. I don't know if it was a normal, like, okay, yeah, well, I don't know, you get 45 minutes, you know, I'm out there on for the second half. It could have been that, in all likelihood, let's be real, because at the beginning of the, for most players, they were getting like halftime, 60 minutes, right? It could have been that. Or, you know, it could have been, you know, Ten Hag talking to Ronaldo, pulling him up on certain things like he would pull up any other player. And Ronaldo possibly responding in a way that Ten Hag may not have liked. And I don't mean cussing or anything crazy. I just mean, like, yeah, whatever. You know, and Ten Hag was like, what? No. You go and hit the showers. I don't know. It could be nothing. It could be whatever. But my mind just went there. Because I was like, we talking about loaning out Ahmad. How he starts the second half. Oh, we will never play Ahmad in a practical game as a number 9. Never. Right? Even when he did come on and score for us in the it was a Europa Cup game, right?
Yeah, the Europa League, yeah, against AC Milan.
Yeah, when he came on and he scored, he was playing on the left wing. Right? He wasn't. It was
the right, actually. It was the right.
Right? He didn't come on as a number 9. So I was like, okay, but is a Ronaldo first run out? He get 45 minutes in his legs, so it probably was nothing. But I was really interested. One of the things that stood out to me was the fact that the best player on the pitch was also somebody who we know had some disciplinary issues. right? He was supposed to get a run out earlier in the season, and he came late to training. I think it was, or later a meeting.
I think it was late. I think it was late to training.
Yeah, it was late to training, and from what we understand, Ten Hag tell him, yeah, well, you were supposed to start, but figure that. And we didn't see him for the first 3 games. Or he got a little something. Yeah. So, I get the impression Ten Hag is a very strict disciplinarian. And even if he is not, when you're coming into an indisciplined team, you need to put your foot down early. You could loosen it later, but you can't start off lax when you're coming into an environment where everybody supposedly had challenges being disciplined before. So I support him with that. But Garnacho steal the show today. And Ronaldo being his first game back, he has an excuse. I don't know what excuse Rafael Varane have. I don't know what excuse Tellez have. Donny van der Beek. I don't understand how this youth, albeit what we all consider our best youth coming up out of this crop of youths, how he could come and play with 4 or 5 senior players. And by far, I don't mean a little bit. I don't just mean he was the best player on the pitch. I mean, by far, he was our best player. Not even a little bit, by far. I would be feeling at home. And the truth is, Uli Ronaldo had an excuse because it was his first game back. Nobody else had an excuse. What was it?
A weak excuse, but it's an excuse.
You know what I mean? So, Garnacho looked really good. He still have some, he's young, so he'll grow more, but he looked really good.
I find Laird was good too. I find personally we could sell Wan-Bissaka and have Laird
as your backup. Sell Wan-Bissaka regardless.
Yeah.
Laird burst forward from the right on a breakaway, and I swear he was an attacking player.
Yeah, because he looked good.
When I realized I seen 41.
Even Ghana looked good. Ghana got back into the box and made some important clearances in the first half.
Ghana looked good, yes, but I would still say that he still needs to go back on loan. But that doesn't mean. I mean,
boy, are you crazy?
I'll tell you something. If we get the young,
hoping that that's what I was gonna say. Right? If we get certain things in, cool. If not, then obviously he has to come back in.
Nah, I say regardless if we get the young, we need to keep Ghana in the squad.
Yeah, we need the depth. You can't just be getting out players that showing something of themselves, especially after they prove themselves in Nottingham Forest. Help them get to the Premier League. We have that in our ranks, and we want to send them back on loan. What sense does that make?
But to be honest with you, I agree with Darren there from his standpoint that when I was watching the game, I was like, I hope we keep this guy and play him. Not every game, not necessarily start him, especially if we get the young. But I was really impressed by Ghana today.
You feel the young as a machine. He can play every single game.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I don't just want us to have Ghana on the bench. Ghana need minutes.
Yeah.
Well, that is the thing. You see, I mean, how much minutes can you honestly guarantee him? Like next season? It's how much. I think, honestly speaking, if you put Ghana in that team and you give him like a real good one out, like a good 3-4 games, you will see his progress. But the truth is that we will never see it. Well, at least next season, because they have too many guys, like above him.
Yeah, but the position that they want him,
I know.
the position that he's best suited. That is something that a lot of these players cannot do, because you look at the positions that certain players have. Scott and Fred are not natural players who could play defensively. Ghana has that ability to be aware and position himself to be a deep line playmaker or defensive midfielder if need be. So to have him there is a plus for us.
He's the only player in the squad right now that can play any of those positions, and that is his position. The only thing is he lacks the amount of experience to play it at the top level week in, week out. The other guys are box-to-box midfielders, so they could lend a hand, but that's not their position. So that's why they will always look bad in the position if they have to stay there permanently. Ghana is the only true deep line playmaker, or if you want to use him as a defensive midfielder.
Yeah, so I was impressed with Garnacho. I was impressed with the young fellas that stood out. So we definitely expect to see Garnacho staying with the team.
Yeah.
And I think, to be honest with you, I think Ten Hag would have been happy to see that, because we all know we're concerned about depth. And, at least we have a player that, okay, he may not be starting quality, but he looked like the kind of player that you could bring on and you cause problems.
Yeah, like
the amount of times he took on these players one-on-one.
Yeah.
Beat them and run away. And you know what I asked myself, fellas? And I want you all to weigh in on this. I remember young Marcus Rashford. Everybody remember young Marcus Rashford?
Oh, yeah.
Tearing it up on the left,
yeah.
tearing it up on the right, beating men at will. And I asked myself, you all remember young Anthony Martial?
Same thing.
And I asked myself, is it that when these guys get more mature, their game changes?
No.
Or is it just youthful exuberance, that explosiveness is something that comes with youth? Because when I look at Garnacho today, when
a man get home from a red thing, it's called a banker. Right? Marshall go home by a girl to banker.
Somebody sounds like an expert in that department. Somebody sounds like an expert in that department. In the banker department, somebody sounds like an expert.
Yeah, real unnecessary shots fired, boy. But anyway, it's
No, I honestly think it was just teams figured out how to play against them. And so now they have to change their game to adapt to it. That's all I think it was. Like, okay, this is what they're looking to do. So you have to be wary that they're going to do a whole bunch of stuff, but at the end of the day, this is what they're going for. So force them to do something else. And that's what I think the managers are doing with these players. However, when a player first bursts onto the scene, teams have not had enough footage to verify this, to make sure that's what it is. And then
I think it has to do with
I was also going to say, with that being said, it's also when these players burst onto the scene, they get all this like big hype going around them. They have yet to face true adversity, a whole bunch of them. So, okay, that you have everything always going your way, always being pampered, and now things are going rough. And it's like now they're first learning how to get through that. And so that's where I think that's something that also sets a big difference between players who have longevity versus like people who just burst out onto the scene and disappear.
Is it that people
when
right,
have coming
figure them out?
Say that again?
I think teams, right, figured out players like Rashford and Martial, right? And then what they didn't have was again proper coaching to get these guys to to go to a next level. Because the best players, right, know how to change their game, to adapt to different teams. So I don't know if Marcus has ever really been able to really change his game around. I don't know.
My take on that is when these players young and hungry, they focus solely on football. When you start to rise to prominence and the commercial aspect of your career start to take flight, it tends to take from the on-pitch endeavors, and a lot of those guys are suffering from that. So like Rashford in particular, the sudden rise that he got when he get his honor, the letters behind his name, and then he was a child, and he's feeding the children and all these others. It's global things. By the end of the day, not every player has the ability to be able to balance the both and still excel at both. So I think he needs to focus a little more on what matters, which would be the football that brought him to prominence in the first place, a little more, and eventually he would be able to find a way to integrate himself amongst the two. And then he had a terrible dream. So
I wasn't so much just thinking about Rashford specifically. I was just thinking back to how he burst on the scene, how Martial burst on the scene. Because I don't know if you all would agree with me, but putting aside the youth players.
You're seeing a trend, that's what you're trying to say.
Putting aside the youth players, who do we have that takes men on and run at players? Who? And I mean, I don't mean take them on and lose the ball. I mean, who takes men on and be the man, be the first man and run at players? Who does that on our wings? Normally, Ben Rashford and Martial running into space.
The man who does do it right now, he home rock back watching me.
Sancho.
Nah.
Sancho don't do it often enough.
I'm not talking about Sancho, I'm talking about Greenwood.
Oh.
Yeah. And again, another youth player. I mean, I see United players with talent. Yes, we know Marcus on his day he could beat a man. But more often than not, when players move towards Marcus, he turns and he passes the ball. Sancho, same thing. Unless they have a lot of room, they do. What Garnacho did today, there was 2 times the man get the ball, the defender close him down, and I told myself, well, all right, yeah, he looking to pass the ball. And Garnacho raise up, look so, turn around, beat that man and go on. I was like, okay. You know what I mean? Because I don't know about Ole, but I'm not accustomed to seeing that in United anymore.
Yeah.
Players don't do that. We don't
that back pass. That default pass is a permanent part of our game.
And I so I would love it if we have wingers that do that, more often. And I think just the fact that Garnacho brings that willingness and the ability to take it off, to pull it off. Too many times when I see Rashford try it, he does be going down the road and the man take the ball and head in another direction. Right? So, that is it. But that was a breath of fresh air for me today. Martinez looked like he was a United player his whole life, though. He didn't look like an outcome at all. Martinez looked good as well.
It's the familiarity with what a coaching style that helps in that regard too. I mean, remember, this is a man Ten Hag has coached for some time, so he would kind of come to grasp with everything pretty quickly. The person that stood up for me how he was adjusted was Eriksen, and Eriksen has been consistent. The last 2 games that he's played in, I mean, all he was missing was a goal from his performances for me.
Yeah, definitely. I think so as well too. I think Eriksen, in my opinion, he was showing enough to actually warrant a starting spot, and we only saw him for less than 1 match in all of preseason, but he impressed. He took his chance. So another one which I'm interested in seeing is if he gets more chances as well too.
Yeah. Players of Eriksen quality, players of Martinez quality. These players, all they need is a little direction as it pertains to what the manager of himself wants to do, and they will get done because they have so much in their arsenal as an individual player. All you have to see is how I expect you as an individual player to play in my team, and they will be able to get it done. So, because I mean, Martinez was Ajax Player of the Year last season in the title-winning season, and Eriksen, as we all know, he's a Serie A champion. So these guys know what it takes to win. So I don't see why, they should be starters. But with Eriksen health, people might question if he should and could start. But I think he should be a starter and come off often, not playing the full match all the time, or if not guaranteed at least 30 minutes from off the bench every match.
Fellas, something stood out to me. I think it was in the last game where he played Eriksen and Bruno. And he played I think it was Fred. Who was he who played as the deep line midfielder. But I can't remember. But the bottom line is, during that particular game, I asked myself the question. I said, could it be possible that we could see a midfield three of, let me say, Fred or Scott holding, right? Or even Martinez, if you want to push Martinez, holding, and Bruno and Eriksson on the pitch with a front three. I don't know, but I would love to see that opening day. Serious.
Bruno and Eriksson on the pitch at the same time.
At the same time.
Boy.
So you're playing a triangle, right? So you have one man on the back four. You have the defensive mid, and then you have 2 10s. You're playing 2 10s, and then your front three. I think, wow. I don't know about you guys, but this
but that means we'll have to have one deep line playmaker. And
yes.
Do we have a man of that quality?
No. Martinez.
No. Yeah, but
I think he would.
A defender.
Who has played as a defensive midfielder?
Can you all see it?
Yes.
I think he will do it sometime.
We can see it, but the young as the soul man.
That's something he would say for probably the bigger games. That's something he would say for probably the bigger games, like maybe for City or Liverpool, I believe.
What, to play that? So you play, right, a three of Bruno, Eriksson and Fred against City.
Maybe.
No,
against De Bruyne
you play that against teams,
and so you play that against Liverpool. Dog, that is a massacre.
No.
He would. You want to keep possession of the ball, right?
Robert,
Correct.
The whole thing with that is that you want to have different lineups for different games, different types
I'm not
styles.
saying no.
Them low block teams. You can play that for them low block teams.
Correct.
But you can't run that for City and Liverpool. We're not there yet.
I understand what Robert is trying to emphasize. We need to have a quality man in the back there and cohesiveness among the team to play that.
Yeah.
If you play that team like a lesser team where you could get away because they might have the quality to put away all the time, right? But to play it against a proven team that's actually the entire squad is on one page, because we trying to get there, we slowly getting there. But to play that against that team that's already there, it's a mad team.
I think it's right. Our first priority for our first game is to win.
Correct.
That's our first is win. So
correct.
And I can't see Eriksson, Bruno, and Fred being in a medical tree.
No, Robert. I want to ask you specifically because you say you can't see it, right?
No, I could see it. I could see it.
But you see, you consider it a risk.
Right.
You consider it risky, right?
Dog,
so let me ask you this question: if on our first game,
right,
our first game, you see a back four and McFred and Bruno and a front three, you will consider that against Brighton? You will consider that a better option than Eriksson and Bruno on the field at the same time?
It's not a better option, but at least we won't lose. We won't get terror.
I don't think
Robert.
I want this one.
Who you dealing with? You're dealing with Manchester fans, people, right? Who just flip out over anything. And our most important thing,
a lot of people flip out if they see McFred.
Right? Yes, they would. Right? I'm not saying right that Bruno, Eriksson, and Fred won't work against Brighton. But remember, Brighton is not no small team, right? Brighton is not no small team
for anybody,
right?
Yeah.
So yes, they beat us 4-0 last time, so that's going to be on the back of everyone's minds already.
Exactly.
I
don't
see the team being set up for revenge.
Right, but okay, like I could see, if you tell me, a Fred, a Bruno, and I don't know, even if you say Ghana in there, I could see that. That me could work. I could see, but to me, that Bruno Eriksson is too.
Nah, I think I respect Brighton's ability, but I think you're giving him too much respect to play so defensive.
No, yeah,
not
defensive.
Because
not defensive.
Let me be like, Fred is not really a defensive midfielder. He's more of a box-to-box. He looks better when he helps in the back and he goes forward. He looks more useful when he roams in the creative third. But hold on. He looks better when he plays in the entire creative third and have the ability to give the pass in the final. Right. But what I'm saying is, with the likes of Martinez, and with Fred, with the little bit of ability he has there, when you have men like Bruno and Ericsson feeding the top, if you could keep the ball as opposed to having the need to always be defending, you're better off. When you have men like Bruno and Ericsson, you will be able to retain the ball. The best defense is a good offense.
Possession. You keep possession. You allow. They can't do much with the ball if you keep the possession all the time.
I was also saying you still have your front three. You still have Sancho, Martial, and Rashford.
You literally have 5 attacking-minded players on the pitch, plus 2 wing backs helping the attack, so that's 7.
Right. So, but that's what I'm saying. But to me, I'm just saying that Ericsson and Bruno, it just seems very. Yes, I would say it's a risk. It is a risk.
The squad I could see. I could see based on what Chad was saying here, right? We had Dalot on the right, but obviously the here in post. We had Dalot on the right. We have Maguire, Martinez, Malacia.
Right. Yes, Malacia. Yes.
Fred as the single pivot. You have Bruno and Ericsson. You have Sancho, Martial, and Rashford. I mean, come on. What more you need there?
So my whole thing with this right now is I think one of our biggest problems was our League Cup play. Our midfield has been shit. We don't have that one. Well, sorry, we had one. We had one playmaker who could transition well. The teams figure that out, and you shut him down. You put emphasis on him. You shut down the entire play of the team. Now you'll have 2 on the pitch. So you got to figure out which poison do you take this time. So
exactly.
As much on one. So and that's why I could see this actually working in our favor.
Also, why it could actually work in Martinez, we have a very, very dominant and comfortable defender with the ball on his feet. That allows the entire attacking team to stay higher up.
Yeah, so it's like our defender wins the ball. Their midfield or the midfield and pass already knew the ball was looking for Bruno no matter what. So
yes, a different option now if you have Ericsson and Bruno on the pitch.
Which one, Bruno or Ericsson?
Exactly.
So that's something that I am actually very excited for. You pick your poison, see which one you got to go after, or you treat them equally, and then it's like, all right, now guess what? Now you just basically took the chains off Bruno, and let's see what happens.
Think about it like this, Robert, because once you have better ball retention within the midfield, the opposition can't really do anything going forward because they're not allowed to progress because they have to be busy winning it off of us. You have 2 creative playmakers. It kind of confuses which direction you can take this.
No, don't get me wrong.
Lose-lose situation.
Based on all the games we've played so far, I think Robert is probably right. It's possible that the manager may not go so attacking so far so early in the season.
But now I say it could be that.
No. Yeah,
right. It's not like we started the game 1-0 down, you know what I mean? But it's just something that if this team could get it right, if this team could play that high line, if this team could prevent the ball, deal with balls over the top and balls behind and compress the field. The thought of having 2 ball distributors, I mean, I'm not lying to tell you, if you add De Jong to that, it's just orgasmic. 3 guys in the midfield who could find a killer ball.
Because I mean, people saying that we can't have 2 we can't have 2 ball distributors. I mean, you forget City had De Bruyne and David Silva at one point. So come on, who are we to?
Yeah, but City playing that style of football for years.
Correct.
I ain't saying no, but if you add the right ingredients, that we could get to that level.
Listen, City have even the right winger
that different beats
to give you a good ball and create a play the right. I'm not sorry, not right winger, the right back. You understand? So
I understand all that. But
yeah. You have it, 1 man, and you thinking, well, 2 men is too much. Come on, you need to have it at multiple.
That's my whole thing. That's my whole thing.
And that is why the great teams under Sir Alex was like that, from the standpoint that, okay, you want to shut down the creativity in the middle, shut down schools. Well, gigs could hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we going and shut down schools and gigs. Yeah, well, Beckham could hurt you.
Beckham was there.
You know what I mean? And we don't have that.
Even in his defense, men forget how good Dennis Owen ball distribution was at one point.
Okay, so I have a question, all right? Okay, I have a question. If we buy no one else, right? We buy no one else, and this is our team from now going. What would be your? I mean, who do you start then for our first game? If we have no one else to buy, who do you start?
It's got to be the 4-3-3.
4-3-3.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Call your forget the back line. Call your middle and your front three.
I would have to say you stick in. Yeah, I would actually go with Martinez as the defensive midfielder, and you have Eriksson and Bruno as the midfield.
All right.
So you put
I agree with that.
Lindelof and Maguire.
Yeah, Lindelof and Maguire obviously is who you're going with.
You have to.
Well, I saying obviously for all I know.
So
maybe somebody might want Varane, but for me,
you would start with what you know, like who's your most trusted combination. But don't forget now with the five changes, you already have two other. You have a couple other center backs you could choose from as well too. So
exactly.
You also have Bailly and Varane, where if it doesn't work out, you can switch out and bring one of them in at some point too. So to me, yeah, I could. Like I said it before on the show, I could see Martinez starting in that defensive midfielder position. You have somebody that's just ferocious, that likes to put in a hard tackle and is going to make you think twice about coming in and trying to dribble and play funny there, trying to do fast.
And mind you, Lisandro Martinez has a good ball progressive stat when you check his stats in the Eredivisie. Yeah? So he's good at carrying the ball forward as well too. So
correct, but I don't want him as a defensive midfielder. I want him next to Maguire.
Well, I agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
But
based
on what we have
right now, as if we don't get anybody else.
You have to deal with the best you could do right now. So for me, yeah, I could see it being that way, because then you have somebody who's good on the ball that likes to put in a challenge. So now he could put a ball as well too. So you have that, and it's like, okay, if you want to mark out R2, all right, watch him put a ball up. Oh shoot! Now we got to mark him too. Now you opened up one of the other two midfielders as well too, and that to me is exactly what works out. Have them trying to figure out which one are you going to leave less pressure on, and then it's up to our team to pick up that
Martinez, one. With Martinez next to Maguire, he could do the progressive carries up the pitch, which was a problem that we had. We do not Maguire could carry the ball, but his decision making and the quality of his passes is not there. I see he getting a little better with it now in preseason.
I disagree with that because he's had very good forward passing stats for the last 2 seasons.
Well, all right, no problem. Well, with that being said, if Maguire could play a good ball over the top and Martinez could play a good ball over the top, or literally carry the ball higher up, and we have Fred supporting, we wouldn't have a problem playing the ball from the back as opposed to dumping it up. With that being said, you make it a lot easier for Bruno and Eriksson because they don't have to go too much deeper in the creative third. They could stay midway or on the edge of the creative third.
So essentially, you would have Fred dropping back into the center back position while they're carrying forward.
Correct. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Can I also add something as well too? Just let's not forget this. Terrell Malacia is also a player that even when the team is progressing going forward, he has a tendency to slip in to be in the pivot, so that even when the players go forward, he tends to go into the space to be a holding player as well too.
Fellas, I wanna ask. We're getting close to the closing time, and they want to kick us out the bar. And I need to get these 2 questions. So
it's Robert fault.
Firstly, I don't want you all to answer this first. You're going to deal with this question last, which is how would you rank the preseason and your main point, what stood out for you this preseason? Everybody will weigh in on that. But the question I have before that is, somebody know when Tom and Luke Shaw? 2 games in a row, Luke Shaw didn't feature. Anybody have any idea what's going on?
Probably for that BMI test.
Oh my goodness! Oh my
goodness! Them wicked. I don't know how them so wicked. Why them so wicked? But I know so them wicked. Them wicked.
See? Wow, you're fat shaming man. Fat shaming man.
I disagree.
I want to talk about me. No.
Yeah, but come on, Robert. You were thinking it. Robert, you were thinking it. Thank you, sir. Don't call me no hypocrite when you don't dice your train I talk to. Go on, boy.
I'm a man of virtue. See me, I'm a man of virtue. I do nothing wrong. Nothing.
Hey, kick this man off that street. You see, he telling lies out there. Stop that.
I'm not agreeing with Greg, yes?
But come on, I mean, anybody who knows Luke Shaw since he's been here, anybody who's seen Luke Shaw since he's been here knows that he's had an issue with fluctuating. So come on, I mean, I don't mean to hate on him, man, but oh gosh, boy.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem starting with him last year. Come on. I seriously was wondering why 2 games in a row we haven't seen Luke Shaw. And nobody has been able to give me an answer except Greg just now as to why that is.
I think, honestly speaking, like Malacia came to this team, and to Luke Shaw is my spot now. And that's all. He took it.
He do him like Tom Hanks and Captain Phyllis. He do like Tom Hanks and Captain. Look at me. I am the left back now.
Exactly.
I think he literally walked behind him and whispered in his ears, "Hey, in my spot, don't come." That real badness.
Yeah. So you remember when Tellus came in and Luke Shaw had his best season as United player? I expected that to happen again with Malacia coming in, and I'm actually kind of stunned that it's not. But in a way, if Malacia keeps on doing this, you know what? Fine. It's like I said before, no matter what, United comes out on top because the best one for the position will play for now.
Sometimes, as much as you may like a player and want him to progress and do well, if somebody's coming in and obviously putting in the level of performances that you want, I mean. Who are we to stunt progress?
It is a win for United no matter what. Now,
exactly.
It's like I said before. We figure out right now who really wants it because it's not you do not get complacent. Do not get complacent at all. Complacency is how what I think has happened with a lot of these players here. They get the big contracts, they can show up, roll out for training, do it at their own pace, and then do whatever, and sit there. Lose a match, post an apology on Instagram, and
something. I hope you don't see that season
or something like that.
Tenaga gotta clamp down on that. Tenaga gotta be like, yeah, stop writing them damn apologies. Keep clout on somebody.
Malacia came in and had a good preseason. Now we will find out now because I have one fear about Malacia right now. And that's he came in and he came right into the scene and is taking a spot. I don't want it to get to his head. I want him to continue with the same work ethic that he's been doing this whole time. So that is my one fear. And I have faith in Ten Hag that will not happen.
He looks like it to me from what I see from him and how he plays and the energy I get from him. I think he wants to continually be that player that will always give it out 110% on the pitch. So even with the praises that may come in, he wants to continue being that guy now.
But it's also remember this is a whole nother level from Bayern Nord. In terms of publicity and everybody going in on and off the pitch. So I want him to stay grounded. And
Chad, I would like to also think that because he's coming into a new league as well too, he'll still feel like he has a point to prove. Because remember, this is not the same environment that he's been accustomed to for so long. And I think that knowing that he's coming into a new country, new teammates, new style of play that he has to adjust to, it'll probably drive him more to want to go forward and show, hey, you know what? I'm not just here to participate and just be a part of a squad.
I hear all of those concerns, but whether he is tempted to do that or not, I don't think Ten Hag will allow any of his players to do that.
And that's another point.
No.
Yeah, that's another point.
I have faith that Ten Hag and his team will prevent that from happening.
Yeah, he not going to allow complacency. He see complacency stepping into anybody game, he's going to pull them up and say.
But
And
like I said,
I mean, we've already seen that he's fining players for coming late. He's dropping them from the squad for not meeting certain standards. I mean, if somebody ego get out that check.
It's just my opinion. As I said that, and that's just my fear. Like it's a worst case scenario. That's all it is. But at the end of the day, it's simply my opinion. So yeah.
All right, guys, we have a number of people watching. Please remember to like. For those watching on YouTube, remember to subscribe, and spread the word, share. I want to start on the bottom with Greg B, then we head across to Darren, and then we'll come up. So, what has been your major takeaway, and how would you grade, A, B, C, D, and F? How would you grade this preseason?
I'd give it a B, probably a B plus, because I mean there's still some things that I think need some adjustments, and Ten Hag himself has acknowledged that not everything's running the way that he wants it to. But there are some good takeaways. I mean, like we said, Malacia has been a breath of fresh air to the left side. You've seen a bit more fluidity in the front line once it's on point. Sancho, Martial, Rashford have shown me that they can be a cohesive unit when on their day. Eriksen is another positive to take from it. But like I said, there's still certain things that are rearing their ugly head. The defensive lapses, Tellez, Dalot, Lindelof. I'm watching those situations and I'm like, dog, what's going on? Even De Gea with that howler against Villa in the preseason friendly. I just watched that and I'm like, nah, this can't continue for the rest of the season. Maguire, I mean, I'm not going to say that, he's back or, he's better than he was before. I'm still allowing him time to redeem himself because he has a long road ahead of him and he's going to have to do his best to make sure and keep everybody off his back. But other than that, there's nothing necessarily to say that, we can't put our best foot forward. I had to get us a B+.
Yeah, I share the sentiment of Greg. In comparison to seasons in the past, even last season being the worst, and Jose's season being probably one of our best seasons that we had post Sir Alex. The team that we have now, I think we could give him a B+ because we looking more attacking. Our style of play was very counter-attacking, defensive before. Now we look like we are the aggressors. And the players look like they actually know what they're doing, what they're supposed to do. It's not looking like a futsal team where we playing it by A and we're standing up on the ball trying to think of a play. No, men know that you need to be in this space, you need to be making this run, you need to be coming back. The players actually look like they know what they're doing. And even rival fans, even though it's just preseason, keep saying that. A lot of rival fans coming and telling me, you're looking better. You're looking a lot better. So I mean, if your rivals can admit you're looking better, then something has to be working out. But with that being said, the loss to Atletico and the draw today is evident that there are still certain aspects of our game that still need working on. Those aspects of the game could be the difference between silverware and just reaching to the beach and not bathing, and we have been there many times. So I think we need to get that addressed as soon as possible. But as a holistic grade, a B+ is a fair grade in my estimation.
Robert?
Honestly, I would give the preseason an A. I would, because to me it was because it was the first preseason where I watched most of the games and I saw something happening, like the team was actually a team. It was very cohesive. Like I said before, they all had a plan. Our first 3 games with the 3 wins, we had a plan for each game. And each game, the players put the plan into motion and it worked. What it did also is that it showed all of our problems. Like, again, the defense. Defense obviously is an issue. We still making the same you know, and that again we could fix. The hair problem again, it could fix, you know. Um, but what I
Sad to see.
like is that, um, yeah, but our front three, if those guys could keep their head on, we can really do something, you know. I mean, this season, and with or without Dion, I think this midfield right now, you know, you're adding Ericsson. I think it is at least good enough to, you know, to at least push for fourth place. It is.
I like this comment
Could
from
even come
Cass.
to.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I like this comment.
Mm. And then oh yeah, exactly. You know, so and that's what I'm saying. I will give this a A, because what preseason is supposed to do is show all the improvements, it will show all the mistakes and what we had to fix. And I am quietly optimistic. Ten Hag has shown this is his team now. This is his team now. You know, so I am happy. I am happy.
Let me just read this comment quickly, and then Devin, you'll give me your ranking. And Kessa saying, being honest, all eyes on Liverpool and Man City, but there's something in me that says the battle of the days between Manchester United and Arsenal are about to return. Ten Hag and Arteta going to be the new Sir Alex and Wenger.
Cass, when you coming on the panel?
That's a good question.
Cass, when you coming on the panel, man? Come on, because you're making some good points in here.
You understand? Devin, was your
So
grading?
we played 6 matches. We won our first 3. And then we were winless in the last 3, if you think about it in a standpoint.
Sure.
With that being said, I was very impressed when we saw the first match as well. However, it seemed also that one of my fears came true. Like where we won our first couple of matches, we beat Liverpool bad. We go in there, we're thinking we're good. We go into the Aston Villa game, and I think we got humbled a little bit. And it's something I repeated on here a little bit before. Complacency. I feel that they started getting complacency. It started getting to their heads. So that is my big. Like I said, that is always my big fear right now. Like you cannot start getting comfortable at any time. I don't care if it's preseason or not. Like, and I started to see a sense of little comfort coming in. Atletico Madrid, I actually was, even though we lost that game, I thought that was the best that we had played, to be very honest. Today I don't really count because there was a mixed game between 2 days, so it wasn't a true look side. But I cannot give it a B plus. I the most I can give it is a B, just because of that little bit of complacency that I saw in there. However, with that being said, it's still better than what we've seen in seasons past. So
Right.
yeah, B is my rating.
Well, I am giving it an A. And I will tell you all why I'm giving it an A. When I look at Manchester City play yesterday in the Community Shield, it was clear to me that they didn't have enough preseason games. They looked like they hardly play with each other. Their touch was off. Everybody was passing the ball. Passing was horrible. Even Liverpool wasn't looking as crisp as we know Liverpool could look. And the fact that we have played 6 official and then you have the game behind closed doors, we played 7 preseason games, I think that is really good. I think that is good preparation, the amount of games that we have played. And the amount of games allowed all the positives and the negatives to come out. You know, the first 3 games we were looking good. But the next one, when we drew, and when we realized, hey, set places are issue, right? We saw some of the defensive lapses that we used to see coming out before that we didn't see in the first 2. You know, so I think the amount of games that we played, and at the end of the day, preseason is to prepare you for the season. So for me, Ten Hag should be looking at this preseason and thinking, well, yeah, you know, I know who I could trust. I have a fair idea who could do the job for me. And I definitely know the aspects of this team that I still need to work on. You know, where the weaknesses are. So from that perspective, I'm not looking at it from a perspective of results. But from the perspective of seeing the good and the bad, the negatives, plus the negatives of the team, I would give this preseason an A. Just from that perspective. We played a lot of games and we saw everything. The only thing I would have liked is if Ghana was not injured for the first few games to see a little more Ghana, because I was impressed by him today. And Garnacho, to see a little more Garnacho would have been good as well. But I think those two guys have done enough to definitely stick around. So it's A plus for me. Well, not A plus, sir. An A, just because of the organization. Right, going and playing in very hot. We went to play in Bangkok, it was hot. When we went to play in Norway, it was hot. The different, we started off in the English summer, when we're not going to be that hot. But it could only benefit you when you could play and run 60 plus minutes in heat. And then you go in a cool place. You know what I mean? All of these things.
Conditioning is much better on it, yeah.
So all of those things, I think, set us in good stead. And well, Thursday we're going to talk about the Brighton game, obviously. Just to let you guys know, we have a lot of content coming on the channel. We have the man Devin himself, who is going to be representing the United Hour at Old Trafford, heading across to the UK. So we're going to be doing some little shorts with Devin, letting us know everything from the color and the way he packed it to go to the stadium.
We need to know all of that. Come on, man.
To giving us pictures when he walked through the turnstiles. You know what I mean? Devin is going to be the man on the ground at Old Trafford for us at the beginning of the season. We also have some totally new content. We have a new show that is going to be reviewing the weekend in the Premier League. So we're going to be doing Premier League reviews on a Sunday. So next week Sunday, you're not only going to have Old Talk, you're also going to have later from 6, you're going to have a Premier League show as well as live reports from Devin. We're also going to have a fantasy football show, brand new to the channel, where we're going to be talking fantasy football strictly, and also giving you all little tips, little advice, showing off whoever is on the program. I'm going to be showing off the fantasy football teams, talking about their philosophies, why they have their team, why they pick those players. It's just going to be nice fantasy football fun that we're going to be talking about as well. So that we have all of that for you guys to look forward to, as well as we're going to be doing some shows with some predictions. We're going to have some prediction shows as well, talking about, getting guys to commit to how they think the season going to end up. Who are the teams that are going to be in the European places, and who are the teams that think going to get relegated. So we're definitely going to be having a lot of fun with that. So this entire week is going to be packed, so stay tuned to the United Hour. Gentlemen, we're getting ready to head out. Any parting words?
Next week will be fun.
I'm sure it will. I mean, I'm just excited to see football's coming back officially, and let's just hope that your words are going to be echoed. 21 is coming, Chad.
And big up to that England women's side.
Well, we ready, Darren?
Don't know.
Glass empty, no chips are done. But you know what I mean? Cheers. Enjoy your Sunday. And looking forward to our wonderful season.